Hello, and welcome back to the Blackout Show. This is the one and only SG, Spiritual Goddess. Today we're talking about who are you? Who are you? If you walk around and ask people, who are they? They're going to tell you their slave name. They're going to tell you what they do for somebody else's position or corporation. And they're going to tell you what they think they like to do. But who are you? Are you connected to your ancestors? Are you connected to your Egun? Do you know your Egungo? It is very important that even with the elder family that you have now, that you collect names. You collect names of your greats and greats. As far as you can go back, collect those names. You can always use that to reference something. But the first step of finding out who you are is going to get a DNA test. Now, I know. Everybody always talks about, DNA test is this. Yeah, they do kind of categorize them with some of the places that you go. But the first step is to get an African ancestry DNA test, right? There has been this huge misconception that all of melanated people come from Africa. They don't. And the ridiculousness of it all is just because, hey, we allowed them to categorize this. We allowed them to tell us our history instead of doing the work on our own. And now we're able to do the work on our own. They're trying to manipulate the information. But you want to go to African ancestry DNA test. When you go there, it's going to take a while to come back. If you're a man, you can find out your lineage on your baba and your yeye side, your baba and your yeye ni side, which means your mother and your father's side. If you are a female, you can find out your lineage on your yeye ni side, which is your mother's side. You can't find out from your father. You would have to have a brother or someone to do that portion for you. But figure out where you're from, and it pinpoints you back to where your lineage comes from, right? It tells you, hey, you're from here. Once you have that DNA test, then you want to go to somewhere like 23andMe. 23andMe to be specific. You go to 23andMe, then you order that DNA test. That's going to break it down, okay? Where you're from, what percentages you're from, who is in your family, right? And then therefore you can actually match those names that, your family has told you about to the people that are aligned with you on your 23andMe. Now you're starting to figure out where you're from. Do you honor your Egun? Do you have an ancestor altar, right? So while you're collecting names, you want to collect as many pictures as you can. You never put any living beings on your ancestor altar. Never. I don't care if you're in a picture with somebody. You got to cut them out. You got to cut yourself out and put their picture there. Never put anything living on your ancestor altar. But honor them. And then ask them to show you the way, right? Show you the way to figure out who you are, what it is that you need. That's why so many people that's giving back their slave names, these names that don't align with us, and they're going to get names that align with them. The Muslims, they, have their names. The Africans, they have their names, and so on and so forth. People are starting to go back to their culture. Now, just because you say someone's name that is, they put out that they changed their name. Okay. One of my names is Ifafumi, right? Ifafumi is not my only name. Ifafumi is my public name, right? So the next step is that you got to learn to start being quiet, right? It's so much more that I can talk to you guys about and tell you guys, but it's a lot of stuff that I won't put on a public platform. Why? Because guess what? They're watching, they're listening, and you may feel like little old you. Who's going to watch you? Who's going to worry about little old you? And that's the concept that they wait on you to have, right? Even Elon Musk, and that's my guy. But he's creating intelligence to, AI to think like humans. You know what I'm saying? So, what did he do? He went and brought Twitter. How else to know, how people think and how people's minds operate? By a social media platform, right? So we got to stop putting so much of our information, so much of our lineage out here on this social media. You gotta pull it back, right? And then you sit back and like, oh, they made robots. Oh, they made this. You help them make that, because y'all are always putting every single thing out on social media. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? So do that, but you don't have to put your DNA test on social media. You don't have to do anything. Keep as much information you can within your lineage and as private as you can, okay? You don't know who you are because they're able to change and rewrite history so much because y'all give them so much information. If you go back to especially the people that are of African descent, when you know, our Egun were brought here, they still practice African spirituality, but they didn't practice it openly, right? Why do you think they tell you to cook collard greens and black-eyed peas and cornbread on the first, the first of the year? You know, why do they say, don't sweep my feet? You know what I'm saying? You may not get the gist of it, but it's all, tied into the same thing. And even though our people could not openly practice the voodoo and the hoodoo and in African spirituality, right, they were easily jacking what it was that we were doing. Look at Catholicism. Look at, at the time, Santerra. Look at all of these places where, the tradition has been heavily upheld, right? That there are so many people that have taken portions of our tradition, Ifa, Brazil, Cuba, so on and so forth, and they have incorporated that. And even one further, even your Bible, right? Names in your Bible will change, but they give you the story of our people. So listen, you don't know who you are because you won't take the time to go figure it out. You want somebody to come and tell you who you are. You want somebody to come and tell you, what it is that y'all did at one point. And of course, that's how they trained you to be, right? They trained you to be a certain way in hopes that you would never deviate from this way so that they can be in control. Well, they're no longer, they're losing the battle right now, right? And because they are losing the battle, and because we are empowering ourselves at such an alarming rate, this year, this third year of the age of Aquarius, we're in the energy where we have questions. Never stop asking questions, right? So even if, no matter what it is, even if you're religious, you're Christian, you're Muslim, whatever, if you got a question, ask your leader. If your leader cannot answer you, or your leader is upset with you, then guess what? That could be your spirit guides redirecting you to where you need to be. But never stop looking for answers. Even now, in the energy that I stand in, I'm very funny about who leads me. Because can't anybody just lead me, because I know that. And I've never even entered or had no issue with, my yeye. When it comes down, if I ask a question, she's going to make sure that she breaks it down. That's how authentic, that's what somebody that's authentic, that can break it down and tell you, hey, this is the answer. Okay, you may see it like this here, you may see it like that here, and this is why. You know what I'm saying? When you can't ask questions to somebody, you got a problem. So you're stepping into this energy right now this year. I'm just telling you, get your DNA test. Figure out where you came from, all right? Because there's going to be more videos that I'm posting in reference to, even now, getting dual citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Being mindful of who you attach yourself to while you're trying to get dual citizenship. Because the harder you work and the more you ascend, you still got snakes around every corner that you go. You still got people that's trying to manipulate you. You still got people that need you to use what it is that they got going on. You know what I'm saying? You got people that, if it don't make sense, question it, and whoever you lose from asking questions, that's who you need to lose. But most importantly, you need to find out who you are. You need to find out what it is that you have going on. Find out who you are. Find out as much as you can about yourself and your lineage, man, and reclaim. All right, reclaim what you need to reclaim. But most importantly, giving back these names or keeping these names for debt, right? And everything that you accumulate, every asset that you accumulate, you put in your actual original name, right? Where you originated from, you put in that name. So all of your prizes and the things that is non-debt, right? All of your all of the things that benefit you, you put in your original name. Any type of debt, you put in your slave name. Like people, oh, go get his name back. Go get that name back. Man, learn how to walk it. All I'm telling you, learn how to walk it. It's important. How can you hold two names? See, we're going to do a video about that. But learn who you are first. Peace.